Hello everyone! We're here in Sweden, which is so exciting, and like the kids haven't been here in 3 years because of the pandemic, so it's very special to be back here meeting friends. If you watch our earlier videos and maybe even on social media, you saw that we sold our house, our urban homestead. He's now to someone else who is now gonna do gardening, and we're out on an adventure this summer. We're gonna be 2 months in Sweden because James' work took us here, so we decided to all come. So I want to say that before anyone say anything, yes, flying to Sweden is not sustainable and not zero waste. I get that. When I fell in love with James over 20 years ago, I wasn't as sustainable. I didn't think about sustainability at that time, I guess, not at least individual action. So what can I say? You can't really help who you fall in love with. But anyway, so we're here. It came with a lot of drama. Me and Bella were supposed to go earlier. We're gonna go about 10 days before the boys, only because the boys actually had some camps that they were going to. Well, Bella woke up the day that we were flying, direct flight from LAX, and she woke up with the stomach flu. So we had to change the ticket, and we flew the next day, and ended up being, we were flying, not direct, we were flying through Houston to Amsterdam and then to Stockholm. Well, our plane got diverted from Houston to Dallas because of a thunderstorm, so we missed our flight. So we ended up spending 6 hours in Houston before we finally got on another flight to London. And in London we had 7 hours, and then from London finally we got to Sweden just 2 days later. It's just one of these things. And while we were in Sweden, our first week, we found out that James tested positive for COVID. Luckily, he actually recovered really quickly and got a negative test, and the boys never got it. So he's finally here now, which is so exciting. So anyway, enough about the drama. We're here in Sweden, which is so exciting. But I want to talk about how we, as sustainable travel, we can. In my book, you have a whole chapter, actually. I have a whole chapter on how to travel zero waste, not taking account, obviously, the fossil fuel that's needed for flying here. But anyway, so here are my tips. First of all, you can do carbon offset. So you can actually buy that, you pay that. There's lots of calculators, and actually airlines have them as well. So you can go there and you can calculate your flight and how much you need to pay. It's not cheap, I can tell you, but I see it as a tax I have to pay for traveling. So that is the first one we do. And the second one, we're trying to fly as direct as possible. Now, obviously, because Bella gets sick, she gets the stomach flu, we have to change those plans. But normally we will actually go to LAX because we live in San Diego, and we will fly direct with Finnair to Stockholm. And they're just a lot easier. But there's also a couple of things. So first of all, we inform the airline that we are not going to eat our meals, only because half of the time they forget our vegan meals, so we don't get them anyway. But then also they're just so packed in plastic, and they don't even taste good, so the kids never eat them. So we pack our own lunch instead. So I would usually bring a lot of different food, lots of fruit, some salads, sometimes even vegan sushi, depending on how we're flying. And then we'll bring sandwiches in sandwich bags. We will always bring our own set of cutleries that comes with chopsticks and even straw and fork and knife and spoon. We all have one for each in the family. We bring our own napkins to use. And then obviously I use these big reusable Ziploc bags for storing all the food in, but I will usually make more food that we're gonna eat because my kids tend to eat a lot. Sometimes I think it's because of boredom. And of course, we'll bring our own water bottles with us, so we fill up, because the refill stations, usually at the airport, Heathrow airport, where we end up flying through, they only have one, which is really hard to find, but they do exist. So first of all we always stay in an Airbnb. We find that way we have a kitchen, everyone can be a little bit more comfortable, and it feels more like you're living there. And I really like the Airbnbs are actually someone's home. Like today, you can see this beautiful home we're in. It's actually this wonderful woman. We have met so many amazing people over the years by living in someone else's home, and it's really, really fun. This is a beautiful home in the middle of the city, which is really exciting. So, but this way we can cook our own meals. So we can, make breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that brings me to another thing, is that I will figure out where there is an organic store that will usually sell unpackaged food, so vegetables and fruit that's not packaged in plastic. In Paris, I went to the local farmers market. My French is okay, but it was I didn't know what olives were in French, and I asked, what do you call that? And then before I knew it, he was standing there teaching me all the different fruits and vegetables that he was selling, what they were. And in the end, he gave me the olives for free because he thought I did a very good job in my French class with him. So it's kind of funny. Anyway, and then, it's kind of fun to bring it back to the apartment and cook it. Of course, we go out to eat too. But what I like about it here in Sweden is like you can usually get, you can go have coffee and lunch and stuff like that, and it doesn't come in plastic. It comes with real plates and forks and knives and cups, which I really, really like. And then also we like cities where you can walk or take public transportation or bike. Luckily here in Sweden, there is more, I would say, pedestrians and bikers than there are cars, and public transportation is really, really easy to get around. So, and it's cheaper than having a car anyway. And another thing I do is like I always check what the recycling situation is like, and we always recycle. Wherever we go, we will figure out. So here in Stockholm, for example, they have recycling stations. So there is a recycling station, usually pretty close. Like it's just middle of this of the city, and there's a lot of them, and you just sort your recycling. So here in Sweden, they will actually sort it. So it's plastic, hard plastic, soft plastic. They recycle paper and all, depending again, newspaper, cardboard paper, and then they have glass, light glass or dark glass and metal, and yeah, so they recycle everything. So we will figure that out, and we would definitely recycling. Another thing we actually bring with us, because we know that we're going to go grocery shopping, is we bring shopping bags with us. So we bring two. Now I know when someone would say, this sounds like you're packing a lot. Well, we pack very minimal to begin with. I think people laugh at us when we're traveling 5 people and we only going with 3 suitcases, but we don't bring a whole lot of things. And we also, because we're staying in Airbnbs, we do favor Airbnbs that has access to a laundry machine either in the building or in the apartment. So in this case, actually in the apartment, we have a laundry machine. So either I bring soap nuts with me, or I bring the zero waste laundry sheets. I think from True Earth is the one that I brought with us this time. And they're easy to pack because they don't weigh a whole lot and they don't take in the room. And we also don't buy souvenirs when we go traveling. I think souvenirs are great and they're wonderful and it brings a lot of memories. And it's no judgment on any part, but we're minimalists, so we kind of don't like to have a lot of things. So for us, the memories are the pictures, the people we meet, and our memories. All of these tips, I just want to say, also saves a lot of money because we're family of 5 when we're trying to travel as cheap as possible. There are more tips in my book, how we do zero waste traveling, and so check that out. You can buy it on Amazon. We even have it ebook, so you can download it too. If you have any tips, please give them to us because I love to learn more and hear your tips. And so I hope this video was helpful, and if it does, give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and come back, and we're gonna keep on sharing on this adventure because we're here for a little bit longer. Bye.